Welcome back, Chicago. You're listening to Get Down to Business. Get on my website, shalomklein.com. That's where you can download podcasts from the past 6+ years of shows, all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. Check out shalomklein.com. Follow me on Twitter at shalomklein. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by Stephen Lefkoff, the principal and founding attorney of Lefkoff Law. And Stephen, such a pleasure to have you here on the program. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Sean. I'm glad to be here, man. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, Stephen, you have an interesting background. Certainly, a lot of time, a degree in finance from University of Illinois. But then you went over to the dark side and you got a law degree from the University of Georgia. But I'm sure you missed Chicago winters, right?
What do you mean? That's the only thing I miss about Chicago.
There you
and
go.
Illinois are the winters.
There you go. Good. Just making sure. So Stephen, you have an interesting practice, and you're not just sort of the typical, attorney. I'd love to get into that. Stephen, I know you do a lot of speaking and a lot of education. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I did graduate from the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign, beautiful Urbana-Champaign, and I'm originally, though, from Georgia and moved back home. You'd be surprised to know a lot of it had to do with the weather. Came back here to law school to the University of Georgia, and I have been practicing here in Atlanta ever since. And my law firm practice is a more traditional general business practice, but I have found a niche here that I'm rolling out nationally via an online coaching program, and that's coaching clients to represent themselves in small claims court.
It's totally fascinating, and it's called the Gavel Program, which is powered by the Small Claims Academy, and it certainly is a niche. I believe right now what I'm aware of is 73 videos ranging from 90 seconds to 5 minutes within 3 courses, pre-trial, trial, and post-trial. So, Stephen, the obvious question is there really a replacement for hiring an attorney, sort of the old school process of when you have a, small claim, you bring an attorney on. Why would you sort of be outsourcing your own job?
That's a good question. So, here's the deal, really, with small claims. When you think about it, you're talking about claims that in different states vary in maximum value. Here in Georgia, the most a small claims court can award is $15,000. And in a lot of states, it's much smaller than that. And when you get into those kinds of numbers, you're really not cannibalizing law firms and attorneys, because there aren't very many attorneys that'll do this kind of work. Because, if you think just economically, you're going to charge a client $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to take on a case that, even if you win at the end of the day, may only be worth that amount of money. So a lot of times it's called, a lot of people call it the People's Court. There was obviously that famous TV show called People's Court for a reason, because it's designed for the people. But then if you take a step back, really, and think about, okay, so we've got these courts that are designed for the people. What is the county and state, what is their responsibility with your tax money? And it's not providing the litigant, the person in court, with the education and the procedures and the rules and the coaching. What the tax money does is provide you with the forum. They provide you with the building, the judge, the clerk's office, but it's up to you and how you handle the case.
Interesting. And Stephen, I know you started this in Georgia, but you are actively working to expand this program across the country. And you've really dumbed down the process, and I mean that in a positive way. Of one of the videos I understand is where to sit, what to wear. The real basics of what people need to know if they are going to represent themselves. And Stephen, I have seen it firsthand, being in the business community, that sometimes people do make a decision to represent themselves. It sounds like your goal is make sure people do it right and give people the power to do it successfully. Is that right?
That's exactly right. I mean, years ago, I was sitting in a small claims courtroom, and I was watching somebody go before me with no attorney. And it was a trial, 2 parties, neither of them had an attorney. The plaintiff should have won the case, but lost, and really should have won. I mean, it was a pretty simple breach of contract. Simple for me, I could say that because I'm an attorney, I'm trained, I've seen it, I've done it. but didn't have the right evidence, didn't have the witnesses, asked the judge when the plaintiff realized what they had done wrong, said, "Judge, can we reschedule?" And the judge said, "No, you're here. You're expected to know how to do this stuff. We have rules. And I'm sorry, I can't just give you a do-over because you came to court and didn't know what you were doing." And so I'm sitting there in the pew, right? And I'm going, this is not right. I mean, there are hundreds, thousands of cases that go the wrong way because they don't know the rules. And so I started coaching one-on-one with my clients. I started just taking on clients and coaching them personally. And those are the kinds of questions I would get. I would get a lot of, where do I park? How long is it going to take? Is it okay if I park at a meter? What do I wear? Where do I sit? Like, those kinds of things are what people think of, because in a lot of cases, they don't know what they don't know. So they don't know what to ask me, right, about evidence rules and about hearsay and about opening statements and closing arguments and all of that stuff. That never even entered somebody's mind as a question they should ask me.
Well,
what they asked
Stephen, I've got to squeeze in a quick break.
I
got to squeeze in a quick break. We're going to be back with Stephen Lefkoff, who I should emphasize is also a traditional attorney, although he's educating people to represent themselves in the small claims process. Stephen Lefkoff will be back and get down to business in just a moment. We're going to squeeze in a quick break. I've been chatting with Stephen Lefkoff, who, as I just mentioned before the break, is a very successful top lawyer in Georgia, but has been working in developing Gavel, powered by the Small Claims Academy. We were just talking about some of those videos, and really based on your experience, Stephen Lefkoff, of seeing folks perhaps not do it as correctly as they should in the small claims court. So, Stephen, I want to sort of learn more about your entrepreneurial skills. I definitely think it came from your time here in Illinois at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. No doubt it's something in the water here in Illinois that brought that entrepreneurial spirit. But I know entrepreneurship runs in your family. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. So my grandfather was an ear, nose, and throat doctor on my father's side, who started his own practice here in Atlanta. My mom's side, my grandfather was a home builder who started his own business. My brother started actually all of the automation, the animations for the videos, the website design. He runs a design firm in Atlanta. My dad started a law firm here in Atlanta. I do come from and I'm forgetting a lot of them, to be honest with you.
Wait, Stephen, your son is an entrepreneur as well, I believe. Yes. So when COVID hit, my wife started making these lanyards to go on back of people's masks, so that if you took your mask off, it could just hang from your neck. And my son, who's 7 years old, said, "Mommy, I want to make some money. Can I get in on the family business and start making them?" And so he sure did. Well, shout outs to your amazing 7-year-old son. What's the name of the business?
Of his business?
His business.
Well, I guess it'd be called Jonah's Lanyards or something
Jonah's
like
Lanyards.
That.
Well, shout out to Jonah. He's welcome on the show anytime. So, again, I've been chatting with Stephen Lefkoff, who's a native and resident of the Atlanta suburb, Sandy Springs, but really a fascinating entrepreneurial development with Gavel, powered by the Small Claims Academy. So right now you're in Georgia, and your program is really focused on Georgia. What are your plans to expand it nationally? And I'm biased over here, but especially here in Illinois.
That's a great question. So on the website, there's actually a form to fill out. I'm kind of crowdsourcing where to go next. And I've got attorneys in states around the country that have reached out to me to partner to get it in their state, because the program itself it's tailored for the state, because it talks specifically about the rules of that state. So it's not something that I can just flip a switch and just launch in every state around the country. So I do need those partners. And, coming from the University of Illinois, I've got a ton of friends up there in Chicago, and I'm working on that. But back to what I was saying before, there is a crowdsourced kind of portion of the website where if you want it in your state, there's a part where you can select your state and enter your email address, and we're kind of taking surveys there to see where we should pivot this next.
Oh, that's awesome. And I do hope that folks listening here in Illinois will contact you through the website to learn more, both about your practice, but also about the Gavel program. which is absolutely fascinating. I watched some of your promo videos, and it's really cool, well-produced stuff. Again, it's a sort of a family operation. I know a lot of the pieces of the puzzle have been contributed by everybody, and it's really exciting to see. So, Stephen, we are running out of time, and I want to make sure folks can listen and learn about the process and the Gavel legal program. How can people learn more?
Sure, Shalom. So the website is www.gavel.legal. And if you go to that website, you'll be able to select the state that you reside in as we grow. And
also, absolutely click to contact you to hopefully, as you said, crowdsource and bring it out and bring it nationally. So very, very exciting. And I have to ask, Stephen, as we start to wrap up, what is the most common question that you get that people are curious about the small claims process?
Is it as scary as it looks on TV? That, believe it or not, I mean, I know that's kind of lighthearted, but I get that question all the time. People say they're afraid to go or they're intimidated. And the answer is no, it's not. It's people. Judges are people. The clerk's offices are full of people. Attorneys are people. We're not scary, or we shouldn't be.
I'm glad you answered that question because, that is important. And anything that people don't know about certainly can be intimidating. And, as you expand nationally, generally speaking, is that answer of that sort of, is the nuts and bolts the same from state to state and sort of the process just looks a little bit different?
It is. There are small differences in procedure, like I said before, about, let's say, the maximum that can be awarded or the maximum you can do in a small claims case. But for the most part, it's very similar state to state.
That's so helpful. The Gavel program, it's a small claims coaching course designed to guide individuals and business owners through the small claims process in your state. And whether you're the plaintiff or the defendant, the Gavel program can help you out. I've been chatting with Stephen Lefkoff, the founder of that program and the proud dad of Jonah and Jonah's lanyards. So congratulations on that as well. Stephen, can you share your website and contact information one more time?
Of course. The website is www.gavel.legal. And you can feel free to email me, Stephen@gavel.legal. That's STEVEN @gavel.legal. I'm happy to answer any questions anybody has.
Gavel.legal. Congratulations, Stephen. Come back real soon and report on your progress, please.
Will do, Shalom. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. And before we wrap up the show, I'm going to be joined by Dr. Jim White, my good friend, my mentor, and he has created the Circle of Success program with Dr. Jim White. So Jim will be joining me on the air before we wrap up the program, and we are going to be talking about ethics, mission, and values in business. And we'll be continuing that theme over the upcoming weeks. As always, get on my website and download podcasts from the 6+ years of the show, all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. Success. Let's get down to business. We're going to squeeze in a quick break, following which we'll be joined by Dr. Jim White with a Circle of Success platform.